All right, guys. Christian Wood trade, right? We're about a week into the Christian Wood trade. Free agency right around the corner. Okay, and already free agency hasn't even started, and already this man right here looking so damn good, Nico. You're looking so damn good. This man has already put on a masterclass performance, and it led me thinking. He's barely even been in office. Actually, he hasn't even been the general manager of this team for a full calendar year. And already, we've seen some fantastic moves from Nico Harrison. So I decided, why not go down and just take with free agency approaching us, why not take a quick glance at what we've gotten from Nico Harrison so far and grade all the moves? And let me tell you, doing this research, flawless. Looking good. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the first move under the Nico Harrison tenure, and that was trading Josh Richardson to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Moses Brown. I gave this trade an A-. That's my grade for it. Now, listen, I understand Moses Brown didn't work out for the Mavs, right? He got waived. He got released. I think he went to the Cavs, if memory serves me correctly, right? So he's not a member of the team anymore. I know Josh Richardson actually went on to have a fairly productive season, right? A season where if you were on the Mavs actually probably would have really liked to have a player like Josh Richardson, but it just wasn't going to work out. If the fit wasn't there, the season before was a little bit rough. It was time to move on, and the Mavs traded him away, a contract that people didn't think was very movable. And not only did they just basically get rid of him, but they got a young player in return with some potential. So that's why I give this an A-. Even though Moses Brown did not pan out for the Mavs, right? I applaud the effort. I admire the attempt to go out and get a young player that you feel you could maybe develop. So kudos, A-. Again, didn't work, but I love that. I would like to see more of that, actually. Next up, we have the Tim Hardaway Jr. Extension. His contract with the Mavs as a free agent, unrestricted free agent, keep that in mind, re-signed with the Mavs and supposedly had offers way higher than this. 4 years, $72 million. The contract is descending, so it's just going to get cheaper and cheaper as the years go on. I gave this incomplete to be determined C+. Obviously, right now, I'd have to give it a C+, because Tim was not that great at the start of the season and then got injured and missed the whole season. That's why I'm giving it an incomplete. But obviously, this has potential to move into the B grade tier or the A tier. Who knows? It all depends on how Tim looks this year. And yes, the Mavs could have desperately needed Tim Hardaway in the postseason. He would have been huge for the Mavs. I know his defense is a little bit of a concern, but his scoring, his shooting would have been very, very big for the Mavericks. But again, it's hard to really grade this signing right now because of the injury, which was a freak injury. It's not like Tim is an injury-prone guy. So, TBD/C+. Moving on to the next one, which is the Luka Doncic Supermax, the most expensive rookie extension in the history of the NBA. 5 years, $207 million. Jesus. Or is it 4 years? Either way. Luka Doncic, right? This gets an A+. Although, no, I gave it an A because it was a foregone conclusion. I don't want to give Nico too much credit for that because, I don't think ever in the course of history has a guy turned down a max rookie extension offer. So, that was going to happen. That was a foregone conclusion, but an A. You get to keep one of the game's best players, one of the greatest young players in the history of the game. You get to keep him for the next 4 or 5 years, right? Unless he demands a trade, God bless. But that gets an A, right? Obviously, Luka Doncic resigns, A. Here is his piece de resistance, right? His greatest work yet. I don't even know if that's how you say that. I'm just hoping it is. Reggie Bullock signs a 3-year, $30 million contract, A+. This was one of the best value signings in the NBA last season. One of the best value signings in all of free agency. I give this an A+. I thought it was a great move for the Mavs. He was massive for this team. So important. They do not make the Western Conference Finals without Reggie Bullock. I can say that comfortably. Bringing in another shooter, bringing in another great wing defender. Fantastic signing. Great signing. Reggie Bullock was great for the Mavs. He wants to be here. He called joining the Mavs a no-brainer. I don't even remember him saying that, but that's great to hear. So this gets an A+. Fantastic work by Nico Harrison. Great first impression as a free agent signing. I don't know, outside of like getting a star, obviously, I don't know if it gets much better than this because that's just a great value signing right there. Moving on to the Sterling Brown deal. Obviously, Sterling Brown, a part of a trade that we'll get to here in a second. Sterling Brown, 2 years, $6.2 million deal. I give this a C+. Maybe a little bit harsh for a C+ because going into, signing Sterling Brown, nobody thought he was going to be a huge contributor, and he really wasn't for most of the year. So that's why I give him a C plus, because he didn't really do much. But again, I mean, $6.2 million over 2 years, that's nothing, right? And I applaud going out and getting a guy like Sterling Brown with some 3-and-D potential. I like it. C plus, that's fine. That's fine. It's better than an F. And spoiler alert, there are no Fs on here or Ds. I think C plus might actually be the lowest grade. Boban re-signed. The Boban re-signing, I think it was 2 years. The 2-year minimum contract, I'm pretty sure. I give this a B minus just because, again, Boban. I will say we got to a point in the season where it was like, all right, we have like 5 guys on our bench who are just like they will not even get playing time in emergencies, right, in the playoffs. Like, we would rather run out a 6 or 7 man rotation than play some of these guys. I will say at that point it was a little bit much, but obviously Boban, big time locker room guy, again, a part of a trade that we'll talk about here in a second. But so bringing him back, I think, was a good move. B minus. Remember, this guy played 30 minutes in a game 7 last year, so hey, he was a key contributor at the time. So B minus for Boban. Can't hate on it. Mavs signing a Frank Ntilikina. I believe this was the minimum. They gave him the minimum. This gets a minus for me. I'm giving the Frank signing an A minus. I think it deserves that. Frank, again, a very cheap contract, but also he came in and actually contributed, actually got some very meaningful postseason minutes for the Mavs. Obviously, not a perfect player, right? But a good defender, really good defender, maybe the best on-ball defender the Mavs had this season. Obviously, the offense isn't there, but for how much you paid him, he paid off very much so. So an A minus there. Nice get for the Mavs. And, is he a free agent or is it a 2-year? Honestly, I don't remember. But still, nice get for Nico Harrison. I applaud it. Way to go, Nico. You're a star. You're a superstar. Next up, I have Theo Pinson and Marquise Chris here. I'm just lumping them together. The COVID maneuvering, right? During COVID, obviously the Mavs got hit harder, almost as hard, if not harder than anybody else. I thought Nico Harrison did a fantastic job of maneuvering through it. Pretty much every single team got a guy during their COVID stints, guys on 10-day contracts that ended up actually probably staying on the roster for the whole season. The Mavs got 2 of those guys in Theo Pinson and Marquise Chris. Marquise Chris, a solid player, ended up getting hurt at some point. And, he's just an okay player. Again, part of the trade we'll talk about later. But Theo Pinson became the leader of the team, like the spiritual leader of the team. A great bench guy, great locker room guy. So because of that, I'm giving that an A+. I'm giving that an A+. That's super valuable to have. And it seems like the Mavs are going to do everything they can to bring him back on an actual contract. So I'm happy for that. I give him an A+. I thought that they handled that situation really well. It was a difficult situation. I think they handled it really well. Next, we have the big one, the Kristaps Porzingis trade. I did not think it was possible, but it happened. Now, at the time when I've given this, what I ended up giving it, which is an A+, no, but I probably would have given it like an A- or a B+ at the very least, just because you got off Kristaps Porzingis, and I was so ready to move on from Kristaps Porzingis. I think all the Mavs fandom was. I'm giving this an A+. I would give it an A- alone right now, just because, again, you got off the Kristaps Porzingis contract. You just needed to move on from him, and you did. But the guys you got in return, Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, again, at the time, that wasn't like a great return or anything, but Dinwiddie was massive for the team in the postseason. Bertans had his moments as well. But even looking forward to next year, like, Dinwiddie's going to be a big piece of this team, and if Dinwiddie off the bench gives you what you think Dinwiddie can give you, this is going to be a dangerous team, a dangerous offense. So, again, an A+ trade. I love it. And it seems like, here with Stein, like, the Mavs are really trying to move on from him. And I do like that. At no point during Nico Harrison's tenure so far, again, hasn't even been a full calendar year, have I felt like the Mavs have been complacent. It feels like they've always been trying to do something, and I applaud that. I love that. So I give this deal an A+. I mean, I don't even need to describe it, right? I don't even need to explain it. To be fair, I think the Wizards fans would probably give this an A2, and that's all right. Dorian Finney-Smith contract extension, 4 years, $52 million, A+. I mean, that's going to be a steal of a contract in no time at all. I mean, it already is. Dorian Finney-Smith, one of the best role players in the NBA, one of the best 3-and-D guys in the NBA, the heart and soul of the team, the best defender on the team. I mean, you know who Dorian Finney-Smith is, right? We all fucking love him. The heart, the hustle, all of it, man. How can you not love Dorian Finney-Smith? A+. That's a great deal for a guy like that. Love it. And there was some, let's not forget, there was some concern because obviously Jalen Brunson's a free agent now. But with the concern was Dorian Finney-Smith and Jalen Brunson are going to be unrestricted free agents. I remember at the time there was a lot of speculation that Dorian could maybe even get traded before the deadline just because we didn't know. So seeing him extend this right after the deadline ended, fantastic. A+. Love it. And then we finally get to the latest move, the Marquise Chris trade, which you can see I'm giving a to be determined because, I mean, yeah, we haven't seen him play, so it's a to be determined. But I think bare minimum, I'll give this a B. The only reason it's not like a Moses Brown, Josh Richardson situation is because there is, I guess, the outside chance that that Christian Wood comes in and is a huge attitude problem, or his defense is so bad that it actually brings down the team. But even if that's the case, I really don't feel like Kidd would play him that much. Like, I really feel like that's who Kidd is as a coach. But at bare minimum, it's a B because you give up nothing, and you're getting a really, really strong player in return with the potential to be fantastic. So I love this move for the Mavs. Again, it's funny because, yes, obviously I know I'm saying I love this move for the Mavs, and I posted a whole video pretty much talking about why I didn't want to trade for Christian Wood, but I was under the impression that it would cost quite a bit to get Christian Wood. I did not know he was free, basically, and I don't care about the 26th overall pick. I know we haven't seen a Nico Harrison draft pick yet, but 26th overall pick for the Mavs, that might as well be garbage. I'm just going to be real. Given their drafting history, that might as well be actual trash. Okay, so I think the Mavs did a great job here getting a player with Christian Wood's potential, a player with Christian Wood's value, a player with Christian Wood's skill set. There is legitimate all-star potential there with Christian Wood. Getting that guy for basically nothing, huge win. So again, Marquise, why do I keep saying Marquise Chris? Every time I'm about to say a name, I just read Marquise Chris. So I say Marquise Chris. Nico Harrison, man, I can't wait to see what you got up your sleeves. I can't wait.